Okay, yesterday we saw the sugya of shard running after another shard, and the Nizik tainted that his shard did it, the Mazik tainted that he was hit on a rock, and we had other variations of the case. And the bottom line was, we said Sumchis. Okay, now within that sugya, we touched upon Rabbi Bar Nassan. Rabbi Bar Nassan is of the opinion that your moida, if a person goes ahead and claims from you chitin, you moida b'sarim yapata. So now this is a very, very interesting thing. We know if you claim 100 and you admit to 50, you make a shvua on the 50, you pay the 50. That's one of the shvuas daraisa. So he's saying over here the following: you don't even have to pay the soirim, your potter. Now, what's the svara of that, right? What is the svara of tonu chitim? If a guy claims wheat from you, umoide b'soirim that you potter. What's the? So if you look at Rashi, fellas, the Rashi is diba maskal potter. It's a mamish smack in the middle of the Rashis, and it's the last word on the line, potter. Af midemei soirin, you be even potter from the meisoirin. The amalei toiveya, because the toiveya is saying lav soirim yavelach. I did not give you soirim. Now you're saying he did give you soirim. He's saying he didn't. So why don't you have to go ahead and pay? Why you potter? And I was meichel to you. In other words, it could be true that what you're saying is I gave you soirim. The fact that I'm claiming chitin, not soirim, it's ki'ilu I'm being meichel to you. Ki'ilu I'm being meichel to you. That's Rashi. The Rosh says Haidas Baldin Kimeyedim Dami. So one person is saying I owe you soirim. The other person is claiming chitin. He's being moida that he doesn't owe soirim. There's no taina. In other words, when he's tain chitim and he's moida soirim, there was never a claim on soirim. So it's if he said I never gave you soirim. I only gave you what chitim. So therefore, it's like Rashi, it's a din in mechila. Like the Rosh, it's a din in hoidas baldin. Okay, the fascinating halacha in Ayin Hey in Shulchan Aruch Choshen Mishpat says that, let's say a person would go ahead and say, I owe you $100. And the other guy says, you don't. You don't. I owe you $100. And you know you owe $100. And this guy is saying, you don't. Right? So that's mamish. He's not making any claim at all. So he's meichel. The halacha is you don't have to give him the money. He's meichel the money. You know, that, and the Gra brings, where do you know that halacha from? Agamara. You know from the din of Toluchitim Moed B'Soirim, that the Balti doesn't have to pay Soirim, he's meichelit. If you're, even though it's not the exact thing, because he's not claiming anything, but nonetheless, the extrapolation of that halacha is from this Gemara. Okay? So very nice. So now we're going to just spend a little time on this. Tan Rabban, Gufa, Mabfriya Damrant. Okay, do you want to translate? Yeah. Amar Rabbi Bar Nassan, Tanu Chitin, V'hoidula B'Soirim Pata. Further, my Kamash Balon, Rabbi Bar Nassan is an Amoira. Tanino, we learn in a Brisa. Tanu Chitin V'hoidula B'Soirim is Pata. So what is he adding? He says, Ma'ime Hasam, from the Brisa, Havamina, Pata B'Dmei Chitin, V'chai B'Dmei Soirim. I might think that what? Good, you're Pata from the words of the Chitin, but you chai the Soirim, but you have to pay the Soirim. Kamash Balon, the Pata Lagamri. Rabbi Bar Nassan is saying, no. Not only do you have to pay the chitim, you pata from the soirim completely. The brisa you could touch up, you pata from the chitim, but you be chayiv in the soirim. Okay, now we're going to bring in our Mishnah to go ahead and question Rabbi Bar Nassan. What did the Mishnah say? You got two things that were damaged. Echad gadol ve'echad cotton. What do you have? You have the one animal. This guy's claiming that the gadol, the cotton, and this was said the cotton. So we said he has to bring a raya that what? That it was the gadol. He has to bring a raya. It was the gadol. Maisi raya shakol kidgam masik. He'll take the cotton. Amai chitim v'sarim minu. Good. In other words, this is the exact same case. Just substitute gadol for cotton. You're claiming the gadol. I'm admitting it's a cotton. Good. I might say a raya that it's a gadol. What happens if you don't bring a raya? then you'd have to give the cotton. So you see that what? That you have to give the soirin. Kasha on, this is a Mishnah. The diak from the Mishnah is a kasha on Rabbi Barnasan. Says you made the wrong diak. Roy litain ve'ein loy. Meaning, is roy litain, if he brings a raya, right? Then he gets it. But if he doesn't bring a raya, he gets nothing. Ein loy, he doesn't get anything. So this is Rabbi Barnasan's din. Iva Tanya Harisem Shtalim ala cotton min agadol v'gadol min cotton. You would pay. Says where the toughest. It's speaking with the nizik was typhus. I might say mechaver of a raya if the nizik wasn't typhus. If the nizik was typhus, the cotton loy might say you're not going to take it away from him. Tanan again the same case, just switch around gadol the cotton tam and mud. And this is coming mud hisik as a gadol of tamas a cotton. But mas come loy kiel a tamas a gadol mud as a cotton. I might say mechaver of a raya. Holy might see raya shakol kidam a masik. You'll take what like the Mazik said, the tam. V'mai chitim esarim ninu amin aleph. Royalito vein like the same teretz. But Tanya harizem mishtalim lekatim min hamuid l'gadol min tam you do collect, right? Because some of the toughest also exact same answer that speaking with the typhus. Hayishneim shalish echad. Now you had two shvarim running after one. You find that ox was damaged, and they belong to what? They belong to two different people. They will both be pata. That's if they belong to two different people. Okay. However, if they belong to what? To one person, then you be chayiv. So my shar and Benji shar is running after Kenny shar. So Kenny comes to me. Go to Benji. Go to Benji. Puts it back on me. However, let's say Benji's the only one. He'll both of them. Then Shneim Chayavim. That's the lashon. Shneim Chayavim is a very interesting thing. Both, only one oxen did the damage. Shneim Chayavim, guys, right? Says the Gemara. No, Shneim Shalishech, but Shneim Chayavim. They would both. I just apologize. I'm not doing a little under the weather. Amalei Rava min Pasrika l'Ravashi. You're saying that what? They're both chayiv, right? You're saying they're both chayiv, right? That you say Shema Mina. That shvarim tamim sheziku, you have two shvarim tamim that do damage to another one, and we don't know which one did the damage. They're both meshubit to the nezek. Therefore, v'mratza mizeh goiva, v'mratza mizeh goiva. Even though only one did the damage, since in other words, we look at the person. The Benji's shvarim. Kenny says, "I'm not a big chacham over here. I know I got one thing. I got a damaged shar. You're responsible. I'm going to take one of the shvarim. I may not be the one, but Shnei Chayavim. It's mashma, Kenny could take either one, which is a chiddush, right? Because again, only one of them did it. But since it's a tam and the body is meshubid, so l'chayre he can take either one he wants. Okay? Says the Gemara, it's not a good raya. Hacha b'mayaskinon, it's speaking b'muadim. So the chiyuv is on Kenny, so it doesn't make a difference. He can collect either one. Shneim chayavim to pay because it's chayav nesek shalom anyway. The bottom line is he's going to have to pay, right? So all of the chasam is meshubah to pay, including the shar. So memanu shach he can go ahead and collect from me the shar, not because the shar is for sure the one did the damage, but because it's a mugad and chayav nesek shalom. So memela it's no different than you would have grabbed his elephant, or you wouldn't have grabbed his dog. Whatever whatever's worth, it's worth. But he owns your money. So if they're both tamim, there's a chiddush over here because you're collecting me gufay. That would be a chiddush. Ratzim Zegov. Says where you have no raya. It could be speaking about a move. It's speaking about a muid. So Mamela, of course, Kenny can take either one of Benji's shamarim because again, he can collect from Benji. He can collect Benji's rishalu hardware, if such a thing exists. Says the Gemara, even muadim. If you're going to say it's speaking about muadim, ema seifa. Let's say the case in the seifa. Hayechad gadol ve'echad cotton. One of the shvarim that chased after him was the gadol, and one was the cotton. And this is a gadol hizik, and therefore, v'amazagayme loy kiela cotton hizik. Guys, let's stop right here. If it's a muad, what difference does it make whether it's a gadol or a cotton? He's got to pay the full price. Obviously, if the nizik's tying the gadol, it must be he has something to be marviach by being the gadol. What's that? The chatzi nezik would be in the gadol to be able to collect it. Mashen if it's what? If it's in the cotton, it won't be enough because it's the gufay. That case obviously is screaming out a lot. It's speaking about a tam. If we're speaking about a muad, who cares? Says the Gemara. Even muadim, my naflamina, who cares? Gadol cotton, he can collect all things. Safe. The meitur malya boy l'shnum. He's got to pay for the damage. So therefore, Amalei, Ravashi says, Seifa b'tamim, the Seifa is taka speaking, b'tamim v'reishim muadim, right? The Seifa is speaking about tamim, the Seifa and the Reish is speaking about muadim. Okay, so you have no raya. You want to make a raya shnei muadim, they're both tamim, that you can collect which either one you want from. Only one of them is meshubid, because only one of them did the damage. So you're right, it's speaking about a muad. I in the Sefer with a Nizik Tanis is the Gadol and he's Tanis it's the cotton. So obviously, what does an Afkamina? What would an Afkamina be to collect from the cotton, the Gadol, because it's going to cover the full price because you collect from the bodies. It's screaming out that what it's speaking about a tam. So Inachinami, the Reisha is speaking about a muad and the Sefer is speaking about a tam. Omer Ravacha Sabal Ravashi. If the Reisha is speaking about a muadim, then it says the Lashon Chayovim. Chayovim is mashma, not the person. If it was a muad, guys, it should say chayev. What's chayovim? It's mashma that what? That the animals themselves are chayev, right? It's a lashon plural, right? Chayev gavra me boile. It should say chayev gavra. Besu my shneim. Why do you have to say lashon shneim? It has nothing to do with shneim. It has to do with one person, the gavra, right? If it's speaking about a muad, so Rav Acha Saba is being medayik on Ravashi this teretz. That good, it works out muad that why you can't tell me Ratzim Zeh because why? Because the body's not meshubid. But l'chayr we have a problem in the in the digduk of the Mishnah. It's schwerer to say that it's speaking what about a muad. It says Gemara Elo la'olam b'tamim. It's speaking about a tam. Now, if it's speaking about a tam, why Ratzim Zeh Goiva? Rabbi Akiva and it says Shneim Chayovim. The kavana is not that what. The kavana is not collect from either one you want. The kavana is that what dama shutfininu the time of this chavayu, and the reason why you can collect right is because they're both in front of us. Because you can't go ahead and push the nizik off. Aval less chavayu if they're both not here. Matzi damale the masika tell the nizik zil isi raya the haitura askach and I'll go ahead man. And I'll pay you. In other words, if they're both here in front of us, right, then he can't taina what? This one didn't damage, this one didn't do damage. If they're not both in front of us, he can taina what? He can taina this one did damage. The one one left us the damage. This one didn't do damage. And that's the chiddush over here. Lo'ilam again betamim. It's speaking about a tam, and the Baal therefore is only chai for the shor itself. Rabbi Akiva when it says Shnei Chayavim, the kavana is not right. The kavana is not that you can collect from either one you want. Hell, if one of them is not there, right? That you hear that Rabbi Akiva holds that shutfininu and taima the isnu travayu the matzi matchile. He's not able to go ahead and push him away, right? Because again, fellas, if it was Rabbi Shmuel, we don't care whatsoever about the collecting from the ox. Like Rabbi Shmuel, what did we say? Yushem Hashar. You don't own the ox, you own money. No, why are you gaining by saying it's Reb Meir? Rabbi Akiva, what are you gaining? In other words, it's really not so much as Rabbi Akiva, but it's not Rabbi Shmuel. I'll explain. If they both belong to one person, Shneim Chayavim. So if the two oxen belong to Benji, they're both Chayav. They're both Chayav, Shneim Chayavim. It doesn't mean that you can collect from either one. What it means is, if they're both in front of us, you can collect, right? But because one of them vada is there, if they're not in front of us, you can't collect because the master can say that one that went away, that's the guy. So he can go ahead be meitzim mechaber. He can go ahead right and give you the futch, and that'll be meitzim mechaber. Now, why does it have to be according to Rabbi Akiva? Rabbi Akiva says didn't shutfin. Why does it have to be according to Rabbi Akiva? Because let's say it's according to Rabbi Shmuel. Why does Rabbi Shmuel hold? You don't owe an ox, you owe what? You owe cash. So even if they're not both in front of us, even if one is in front of us, you'd still have to pay. That's why it had to be Rabbi Akiva. Because the chiyavad is a shutif in your payment is in the ox, and the ox not here. He ran away. Guys, you good? You good? Okay. I have a lesson of the Travayu. Matsuyama leizil aisi raya the haitura asach v'shalmuch, and I'll pay you. Okay, let's do the list. Rashi. We have a kivi dem shutfininu. The guf shel shar. They're both shutfin in the guf of the axe. Hilkach avid ashar avid niskay. Because it went away. Hilkach ki have shneim who the mischayev. When they're both in front of us, then you're chayev because vada it's here. The lesson of the Travayu ela echaneh amalei. The master could tell them, I see raya. Bring a raya. That's the one. Avler Bishmoil kivim the Amma Chayvu Vizusehu the Asikle Abara Achale Yibeskusai. So what I told you before is not correct. I told you it's not so much Rabbi Akiva, it's not Rabbi Shmuel. No, it's not Rabbi Akiva. Because the Chiyuv now is in the animal, and that animal is not here. Hashem can't according to Rabbi Shmuel that it's money, therefore what you'd have to pay regardless of the animal not being there. Hajjalech al Maniach, Hajjalech Maniach, Hajjalech Maniach. Okay. Let's keep in mind the machlokas between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yishmael. Again, Rabbi Akiva, Yuchlat Ashar, that as soon as the damage takes place, the Nizik has a piece of the action in the shar. According to Rabbi Yishmael, he never gets a piece of the action in the shar. It creates a Chiyav Balchayv. Creates a Balchayv. Okay? Now, this mission is a little convoluted, a little hard, but bear with me, okay? I'm gonna do the Mishnah. I'm gonna explain it, and then we'll see it again in the Gemara. There's two shittas: the shitta of Rameya and the shitta of Shimon. The shitta of Rameya. So the case is the following: you have a shar that's a tam, and it goes 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Now, if it goes 3 times or 4 times, how can it be a tam? So Rashi gives a case where it never became a muad. In other words, it gored once, and then it didn't gore for a few days, and then it gored another day, and then it stopped. In other words, it never, that's according to Rashi, that you didn't have the formula for making it a muad. According to Miri, it says it gored 3 times, but there was never a hulud b'balov. In order to become a muad, you need to go to Bezdin. You never took it to Bezdin. So either way, you have a tam that's a tam on a few days. Now, where does a tam collect from? It collects from the body. So, according to Rameh, here's the following din. Let's say Ruvain, you have Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Good. The ox is worth 200, that gourd, and gourd and ox worth 200, and that ox is worth nothing. So Ruvain's the owner, Ruvain's the mazik. He'd have to pay Shimon, he'd have to give 50. From this ox, he'd have to get 50. Good? He'd have to get 50. Let's say now it goes ahead and goes Levi, and Levi is also worth nothing. So Levi also have to get 50. Let's say it gets Yehuda, he's also 100, and you have to get 50. So the bottom line is, according to Rameya, Yehuda gets first dibs. The one that goes last gets first dibs. So Yehuda would collect 100. Now, if there's nothing left over to collect from this ox, because Reuven, the owner, has half the ox, and Yehuda has the other half of the ox. Let's say Yehuda's damage wasn't 100, it was only 50. Then you have 50 extra, it would go back to Levi. Let's say Levi's only 25, you go back to what? To Shimon. That's the din according to Rameya. And the Gemara is going to ask, who is this according to? It's not Rabbi Akiva, it's not Rabbi Yishmael. Let Rabbi Akiva, you have a piece of the action throughout, and let Rabbi Yishmael, you owe money. So who gains? The first guy gains, right? Because you have to pay him cash. Okay? So we're going to have to figure that out. Says the Mishnah. Shor shenagach arba v'chamisha shvarim, a shor that goes 4 or 5 shvarim, zeh yishalim la'achron shebehem. The last one would get the money. And if the last one, the chatzinezek, was a surplus, then yafsul shvarim. You go back to, in our case, you go back to Levi. Then yeshba meiser, right? You still have a surplus. Yafsul shvarim. You go back to what? You go back to Shimon. The last one is always going to get rewarded because he's the one that's always going to collect the full chatzinezek. Divrei Reb Meir, that's the words of Reb Meir. Reb Shimon, I know. Reb Shimon says that's not the way it's going to work. Reb Shimon says shoshav masayim shenagel shoshav masayim bein neveya for klum. So Ruvain's shar goes ahead and goes Shimon's shar. Shimon's shar is worth what? 0. Now what? So how much does he owe him? Right? How much does he owe him? He owes him 100. It was worth 200 when it was alive. It's dead. It's worth nothing. So you have to damage it 200 to 100. Noitel mana. Is that noitel mana? Ruvain would get a mana because it's his shar, and Shimon would get a mana because that was the chatzin nezek. Let's say now it goes another shar, shafam asayim, and the veil is not worth anything. The achron's going to get a mana. Ushal fanav zeh Not the chamishim suz, it's not the chamishim suz. So Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. Levi is going to get what? Levi is going to get 100. Shimon's going to get 100, and Reuven, the original loan, will maintain 100. Because of a nagach shor acher, shavim asayim, it goes and gets another one. Ha'achar noitel mana, the last one's will get a mana. Ushalafon of chamishim zuz, and the one before that will get half of that. Ushnaim Rishayim will get the dinas of, they'll get 25. Right? We'll get 25. So according to Rabbi Meir, you're going to collect the maximum, and if the first ones lose, they lose. According to Rabbi Shimon, again, you're going to go ahead and divvy it up among everybody. Okay. Masli money. The like Rabbi Yishmael, the like Rabbi Akiva. Ik Rabbi Yishmael, Dama Bal Chayvis Ninu. Hi Achron Nischa, Rishain Nischa. It's right. It's the first person, and the last person loses. Look at Rashi. Rishain Nischa mi boile. Va'achron Yafsid. Shari ein Rishain Shutif boy. The Rishain Shimon was not a Shutif in Levi's, right? Shetahim Shimrasa Alav Lischayev Minasikin. Guys, Loi Remeya. Each guy is taking a loss, right? Reuven's the owner. Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Yehuda gains, and everyone else loses. As if what? They're the owners of the ox. 1 second. When Reuven's shor gored Shimon's shor, what's the halacha? A $200 ox went ahead and gored a $200 ox. The $200 ox is worth nothing. So the damage is 200. What's half of 200? 100. Who owns who? Reuven owes Shimon $100. Now that ox goes ahead and gores what? Levi. What does Shimon have to do with that? Right? Guys, what does Shimon have to do with that? You're telling me Shimon has everything to do with that, because Levi's going to get all the, let's say Levi was 100, Shimon's going to get nothing. Right? Reuven has his original 100. Shimon gets nothing. Why? He was owed $100 by Reuven. So therefore, obviously, Rabbi Meir, again, we're learning Pshat and Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Shmuel doesn't fit in. Guys, are we good? Okay, good. Again, good. So now, says the Gemara, Mastis like the Christian, the like Rabbi Akiva. Ik Rabbi Shmuel, Dama Bal Chayvis Ninu, Ha'achron Nischa. Rishon Nischa. What do you mean Achron Nischa? The Rishon, the first guy. And the last guy should lose. Ikra Rabbi Akiva, the Amatura, the Shutvahu, Hi Yesh Ba Meiser, Yachsam L'Shalfanav, Yachsam L'Kulam Miboyle. And if it's according to Rabbi Akiva, we have to divvy up it among everybody. In other words, meaning, why? If I'm a Shutif in the shore, why should I not get part of it? The last one gains, and if there's not enough money, so Yehuda would get, Levi wouldn't get, Shimon wouldn't get. Why not? Shimon v'Levi, like Rabbi Akiva, are a shutif. As soon as Reuven damaged Shimon, Shimon's a shutif. As soon as Shimon damages, Levi's a shutif. So my mother said, I don't understand Rabbi. I don't understand Rabbi Meir. I do not understand Rabbi Meir. So in Rabbi Meir, neither one fits. Why? Like Rabbi Yishmael, let's do the easy one. Like Rabbi Akiva, it doesn't fit at all. Because like Rabbi Akiva, you're a shutif along the line. You should not lose any rights you have in the animal just because it damaged more. And according to Rabbi Yishmael, why is the last one getting anything? The first one should get it. Because when Reuven shor damaged Shimon shor, the damage was 100. He owes him $100. So when it says the Mishnah is not Rabbi Yishmael, not Rabbi Akiva, in the Shita of Rabbi Meir, neither one fits. In the Shita of Rabbi Meir, neither one fits. And for the Gemara, I'll tell you, I got a mahalach over here. And for the Gemara, I have a mahalach over here. Amar Rava, loyal Rabbi Yishmael. Loyal is like Rabbi Yishmael. Guys, this is going to be the final pshat. It's Rabbi Yishmael. Why was that question? If Rabbi Yishmael, only the Rishon should get, right? Because again, why should he lose? You know what happened over here? The Omar Bali Choyves Ninu, who the Kashalach Achron Niska Rishon Niska Miboy, it should be the first one. This guy, Reuven Shor, went ahead and damaged Shimon. Shimon killed Shimon Shor completely. Now Shimon is owed an ox. He's owed $100. To guarantee that, you know what he did? He chapped the ox. He chapped the tam. He took it. Now, what did he want to do? He wanted to sell it and take $100, right? That's what he wanted to do. Guess what happened when it was in this Rishus? It damaged. Once it's in his Rishus that he was Toifus the Mashkin, guys, he gets a din of Hashem Esacha. So now Shimon is chayiv for the damage to Levi because he was mechuyev to watch it. Geschmack, says the Gemara. He grabbed the ox to collect from it. The Nasa love Kashem Esacha. He was the Shem Mashkin. Right? Rashi seems to say that the hana that he's paid that he's going to collect from this that the owner didn't throw it in the swamp where he couldn't get it. That's his schar that he was available for him to. In other words, Reuven could have gone ahead and as soon as the ox damaged, he could have put it in a place where Shimon couldn't get it. And the hana that he has a place that Shimon was able to be toifus is Shem Esacha. Other people say that what? No, you're Shemer Mashkin, you're Shemer Sacha. You're only a Mashkin. You're watching this in Mashkin. The bottom line is, fellas, as soon as he's Makabel Shmira, guess what? He becomes an owner. He becomes an owner. And therefore he's shaykh to the damage. Okay. So now so what happened? You have to say Levi did the same thing. So therefore Levi's chayav for Yehuda and Shimon's chayav for Levi and Reuven's chayav for Shimon. If there has what, there's extra, you give it back. Reuven would give, Shimon would give, Yehuda would give to Levi, and Levi, right? If you're telling me that there's someone else here besides the original owner who's watching it, why is the original owner losing from his price over here? In other words, the Havamina is that Reuven, the original owner, some way is losing that. Everything goes to Yehuda, and then you're going to divvy it up. Why is he losing it? If other people, in other words, he doesn't have a chiyuv shmira on this anymore. There's no chiyuv shmira. As soon as Reuven, Shimon took it, so Reuven's absolved. So Reuven only has one nidin. Who's that with? Shimon. What was his nidin with Shimon? My $200 ox, God, your $200 ox, and your ox is worth nothing. So therefore, what? I should be owed 100. Why does he lose that? Again, Shimon grabs the ox now. I should lose my 100? I mean, yaxel fun of. Says the Gemara, Amaravina hachi kam einach nami. Im yesh ba meiser bin zakov yaxel shel fun of. If there's anything extra in the damage, so in other words, Reuven's getting the 100. Reuven's getting the 100. So now, let's say you have a $200 ox, goes ahead and goes Shimon's ox, right? And the damage rod is 200. So now he owes him 100. Now, Shimon grabs the ox. Now the ox goes Levi's. Levi's is 50. Levi grabs the ox and goes to Yehuda, and his damage is 25. So in other words, if there's anything else, that's the pshat. I told you the final pshat already. You know. So this is the final pshat in the Mishnah. The final pshat in the Mishnah is Rabbi Shmuel in Reb Meir. Rabbi Shmuel in Reb Meir. It's speaking where each one of the consequential nizikin went ahead and grabbed the ox. That created a chiyuv shmira. Once it's a chiyuv shmira and the ox does damage, they become the baal. So you go start in the end. This ox that there's $100. This ox you only have $100 to deal with, guys. That's it. No, because 100 is owned by Reuven. Now you have a $200 ox that damaged Yehuda's ox, and the damage was 50. So he owes him 25. Pays 25. 1 second. There's something left over here. You'll go back to what? Go back, take another. You go back to Levi and V'chahina. Right? The reason the whole sugya that each one is owed money because the pshiyas of Shoimim, they had a din of a Shoimer. They had a din of a Shoimer. Right? The Mayu came to Rabbi Yishmael. Okay, so now guys, we know it couldn't be Rabbi Akiva. Right? We said Rabbi Akiva is a shutif. Everyone's a shutif. So it couldn't be Rabbi Akiva. There's no way in Reb Meir, guys, that only the last guy is going to get money. If they're all shutfim, they all have kindness. They all own a piece of the ox, right? So you're forced to say the ratios of Rabbi Shmuel. We're not going to change that. This remains, guys. This pshat remains. It's speaking where Loi Rabbi Shmuel is about Choiv, and the chiyuv of Shmiro was absolved from Reuven because Shimon grabbed it. Good. Now, I got a problem. The sefer of the Mishnah is going to be according to who? Rabbi Akiva. And then you're going to have the classic question, Reisha, Rabbi Shmuel, sefer Rabbi Akiva. It says, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Shoshav Masayim, Shanag Shoshav Masayim, Bein Aveli Yafa Klum, Zen noitel mana, Zen noitel mana. Reuven gets a mana and Shimon gets a mana. Each one gets $100. Chazav v'nagach shor acher shav masayim achra noitel mana. Levi's going to get a mana. Ushalafon of Zen noitel chamishim. Shimon is going to take 50 zuz. Zen noitel chamishim, and Reuven's going to take 50 zuz. Zeh chazav v'nagach shor shav masayim. Right, the last one. So you have Levi now. So Shimon, Levi, no, Yehuda. You have Yehuda now, right? Zen Noitel money. Yehuda takes 100. Ushalafon of Noitel chamishim zuz. Levi takes 50. Ushnei Rishonim and Reuben and Shimon both get 25. Dinuzah. Asan Rabbi Akiva dama Torah the shutfehu. Right. This comes out according to Rabbi Akiva beautifully. They're all shutfin in the shar. Right. It says, come on, Reish Rabbi Shmuel v'seif Rabbi Akiva. I mean in the Ha'amalei Shmuel Rabbi Yehuda Shinana. Sharp one, Shavik Masisa Matea Abbasroi. Right? Go ahead, don't go ahead, Juan, and try to enter up the Mishnah. Don't Reish Rabbi Shmuel v'seif Rabbi Akiva. The Reish is Rabbi Shmuel v'seif Rabbi Akiva. Now, usually the Gemara what does right now is it tries to figure out Kula Rabbi Akiva, Kula Rabbi Shmuel. That's when you don't have it's when you have an anonymous Mishnah. On Mishnah we have Shitas. We have Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Shimon. So really, what you're saying is that Rabbi Meir holds like Rabbi Shmuel, and Rabbi Shimon holds like Rabbi Akiva. And you don't have to come to the teretz, guys. We have 2 chalukei deis in the Mishnah. So when you say the Reisha is according to one, the Sefer is according to one, that's not a problem. The Reisha is Reb Meir and the Sefer is Reb Shimon. So Mamela is not a problem to say the Reisha is Rabbi Shmuel and the Sefer is Rabbi Akiva. When's it a problem? When it's an anonymous Mishnah, you don't have machlokes. It's a nice to hear. It's a nice. I heard from Sully Bornstein. It's a nice to hear that over here the Gemara can accept this teretz. It's a very nice teretz. Why? Because the Reish is one man the Amar, and the Sefer is not the man the Amar. So it's not fair to say the Reisha Reb Meir holds like Rabbi Shmuel that you're a Baal Chayv, and the Sefer holds that what? That like Rabbi Shimon holds like Rabbi Akiva that you're a Shutif. Guys, we're good? Hello? We're all good. Okay, Gemara gets a little easier. Tan Hassam gets very easy, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Baruch.
Could you explain one more time why we don't say this answer when a million times, like you said, we have ratio, we split the ratio? I don't get that deal.
Let's say you have an anonymous Mishnah, right? You don't have a Tana, a set Tana, and the two a statement stated. Good. So it would behoove us to say that whole Mishnah, since it was anonymous, Rebbe said it according to one person. So Memela, if it's going to come out according to 2 people, it's kind of shverlich because Rebbe should have gone ahead and stated that, right? So then in that case, we'll go out of our way to go ahead and try to establish it according to one. However, over here, this Mishnah is not anonymous Mishnah. The Reisha is Reb Shimon, Rebbe Meir, and the Sefer is Reb Shimon. So to say that the Reisha goes according to Rebbe Shmuel is not so shver. Reb Meir held like Rebbe Shmuel, and the Sefer that was like Rebbe Shimon stated it to go like Rebbe Akiva. It's nice. It's a very nice stuff. Someone embarrassed his friend. This is Busha. He belted, I don't know if he belted him directly in the ear or he belted a wall beside the ear. I think we're going to see this in Achayvel. Nice and less Sella. He gives him a Sella. Sella is how much? Is 20 zuz, right? Sella is 20 zuz or 4, right? Or Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, a Sella, excuse me, is not 20 zuz. Sella is 20 zuz. Yeah, 4. There's 4 zuz in a Sella. No, so it's 4 zuz. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishum Rabbi Yossi Galili, Mana 100 zuz. The Sella is 4 zuz. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's not 20 zuz. Excuse me. I said it's 4 zuz. I'm getting mixed up. The last Mishnah we said was 5 slayim, right? The damage was 5 slayim. So be aware that throughout Shas there are 2 denominations. There's Kesef Tsuri, the Kesef Medina. We had it in Kedushin. We went through it on Daf Yomi. Right? Kesef Tsuri is 8 times more than Kesef Medina. It's 8 times more, right? That's the rule. So now, if a zuz is 4, then Kesef Medina will be a half, right? It'll be a half. Another what Kesef Tsuri would be is 8 times more. So it's 4 zuz. Kesef Medina would be a half a zuz, much less, right? 8 times less. So now, says the Gemara, you give him a zuz. Mana. You give him a mana. Who gave the he went ahead, what? Again, it's 4 zuz, right? A seller is 4 zuz. He hit his friend, again, in the way that he mechayef for busha. Sholchi Rav Tuvia bar Masna l'kamed Rav Yosef. Sell it Tsuri Tan or sell a Medina Tan. I was speaking to Kesef Tsuri, and therefore that sell is 4 zuz, or sell of Medina, and he only has to give him half a zuz. Amalei Tinisua. Ushneim Rishonim. Dinazav. The last, Reuven and Shimon are going to get Dinazav, they'll get 25. V'yisal Kedaita Tani Tana Sell a Medina. Niflik v'nisli at trace of a seller. You can go with, in other words, you can continue on. You don't have to stop at Yehuda. You can go to Yisachar and get down to what? 12 and a seller. So in other words, so what if obviously when you stopped over there, that must be the denomination of Kesef Tzuri, not Kesef Medina. So he said to him, Rav Yosef said to Rav Tuvi Masna, Tanaki Ruchlo, Lese Velizla is the Tanal a peddler that he has to go ahead and keep on going. Ken sign that what? It's Kesef Tzuri. Why did they stop at 25? You got the point already, right? You got the point. You got the point. You don't have to go any further than that. Now, you might think, Busha guys, how could they collect them Bavel? If it's a Kanas, how could they collect them Bavel? You say you can't collect the Bavel. Because you speak when you're typhus, right? But if you're typhus, the Kanas, we said you keep it. Okay. My happy Allah, Pashtu mi had the Amr of Yehuda Marav. Kol Kesav Amr B'Toira. Let's say it's Hey Sloyim of Pinyan Ben, or the Nun of Oinus Mafata, or the Kuf of Mitzvah Shemra. Then it's going to be Kesef. It's going to be Kesef Tzuri. The Shel Devrayim. And any that's Kesef is the Rabbanon will be Kesef Medina. So now this guy hit this guy in the air, right? And this seems to be the Rabbanon. So he said, it's only a Bishleim of 4 zuz, that's money. But a half a zuz, that's nothing. So what did he say? He said, and I don't need it. What should you do with it? Go give it to that niyam. It's like when you get you get a little change and you got a pushka there. You automatically just put in the pushka right there. It's like, it's not worth anything, right? However, 1 second, he turns around and he says, oh, there's a Coke that you could buy for $0.25. It's on sale. I'm not putting it. So he changed his mind. So I'll go refresh myself. Okay, so I'm going to say it's showing too spät. But the aniyam was zeicha. And as soon as you said that, as soon as you said that you give it to the aniyam, they already was zeicha. The Alpha the leka aniyam hacha. He never physically gave it to them. Says Rabbi Yosef, I know yad aniyam. I know I'm the yad aniyam. And it's if it's collected already. He's like the gabbai tzedakah. Then Rabbi Yehuda Mishmuel Yisaimim ain't it tzrichem principle. Yisaimim don't need a principle. As we spoke about, guys, that you guys you're not able to go ahead and make a claim. So how does the principle work? According to Rashi, you might say Russell the Bezdin, you give the shtar to Bezdin. By giving you shtar to Bezdin, so it's like Bezdin, you can't collect with it. So therefore, it's like Bezdin's holding on to the loan. That's the concept of principle. So if Aniyim, if they don't write a principle, since it's already given to Bezdin, because Bezdin's going to collect for them. So the same thing with Aniyim, Bezdin's going to collect for them. The Yisayim don't need a principle. Rabbi Galil Bezdin or Ravim Shal Yisayim. Rabbi Galil and Bezdin is Ravim Shal Yisayim. Chonan Bisha. Now that's not a nice moniker. Bisha means he's an evil, wicked guy. Takale lahu gavre. Hit a guy. Go give him a half a zuz. So Havile Zuzah Maka. He had a zuz that was, again, their coins would go after weight. So if you get, we have a gahak the quarter, it's a quarter. But if you when you get gahak the quarter, gahak the zuz, it's very hard to go ahead. What he had a full zuz, and he wanted to go ahead and switch the zuz to half zuz, but no one was going ahead and changing it. They took a look at it and they said, "I have no interest in this." So boile meisri lamine palga the zuzah. He wanted to go ahead and switch it that he should give him half zuz, like having mishtakalek. Why? Because it was a karod. It wasn't whatever it looked like. People didn't want it. So why he had a full zuz and the other guys he half the zuz. So what did Chana Bisha decide to do? Takale Achrina gave him another hack, V'yavina Nele, and he gave him the whole thing. Might as well got his money's worth. And that's why he was, you guys are smiling. That's why it's called Chana Bisha. This guy's, that's such a good fellow. Anyway, Freilich and Chanukah to everybody. Again, it's just, this is I tell you, last night I was so thinking about Eretz Yisrael, by Yom Mehem Ezman Hazeh, you think about it, nothing's changed historically, nothing changes whatsoever. We live our lives and things go on, but it's amazing that since nothing changes, it's the biggest raya that we are the chosen people, that we're still here, still living the state of life, the life that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, with the similar nisyonis that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to give us. I find it very, very rewarding, the anti-Semitism and all this. I have a chav who's busy with the news. I won't say who he is. He's busy with the news and this and that, and universities. Forget that. Who cares? What big Yad Hashem is? Harvard, MIT, Penn. Their biggest supporters are Jews. Their best students are Jews, for sure. And they're busy what? Obviously, it's Yad Hashem. It's Yad Hashem. If they get up there and again, it's Hashem's way of proving to the world how corrupt the world is. And I think I find it very comforting. I find it very, very, very comforting. I just do. I don't know about you. I'm sharing my experience. I don't feel this fear, this sense of dread. I feel the sense of Hashem is bringing about Mashiach. He's bringing about Mashiach, and I just daven that nobody soldier should die. Every soldier is such a precious neshama. We daven that they shouldn't die. Someone's, it's amazing what's going on there. And you see the pictures coming from there, the achdus, the connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You see guys making menorah out of Gaza shells. They're so creative. I just find it great. I find it so geschmack. I think it's anyway. It's a. She'll have a freilich and Chanukah, lichtach and Chanukah. Enjoy your mishpacha. Heshi, not too much potatoes. I'm worried about you. Not too
don't
much.
worry about it.
Yeah, not too much. Get latkes, Hesh, and stay.